Hello and welcome to my latest What Sold video. This is for the week of, oh gosh, August 18th through the 26th, 2020. I had to look at my calendar there. So welcome. My name is Trisha and I am an online reseller and my store name is Sandy and Otto. And I have links below in the description of this video if you want to take a look at any of my stores. I sell on eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, and Thredup. And today I'm going to be going through my sales for this week of eBay, Poshmark, and Thredup. No Etsy sales this week. And I had 18 sales in total, which is actually twice as many as I had the week before. So thank you for everyone out in the universe who bought from me last week. I truly appreciate it and am so thankful for every sale with everything that is going on right now. There is just so much with kids going back to school and homeschool and home working, and yeah, it's a lot to get through right now. And so very appreciative of the sales and very appreciative of you taking the time to watch this video. So let's go ahead and talk about my eBay sales. This week, starting on Monday, I was switched over to managed payments, which is going okay so far. Now that I'm kind of getting used to the new screens and what to look at and where I'm looking at to find some of my information. The one piece of information that I cannot find and I'm not sure about, and so I'm going to have to do a little more investigating, is finding out if an item sold through a promoted listing. Now on all of my eBay items, I do fill in that I want it sold with a 2% promoted listing, which is different from having an item on sale. But down at the bottom, when you're listing an item, towards the very end, it'll ask if you want it to be promoted. And this shows up as a sponsored ad when people are doing searches. And so I do have all of mine. I have it set at 2%. Well, in the old system, it would show sold through promoted. Now I've had 3 sales since switching over to managed payments. And these 3 sales did not say that they were, but they didn't not say that they were. So I'm not sure if they were sold through promoted listings. It may be that they weren't, and that's why I'm not seeing anything. So I'm still doing some investigating because of I had 12 eBay sales total. So taking out the 3, since I switched to managed payments, that leaves 9 sales. And of those 9 sales, 6 of them were sold through promoted listings. So I have a feeling that possibly 1 or 2 or maybe all 3 of my other ones were sold through promoted listings, but I just couldn't see where it was going to tell me. And so yeah, I will report back hopefully next week when I have a little more information on how to find out if your item sold through promoted listing, or if you know how to find that information out. Please feel free to leave that in the comments of this video. I would really appreciate it. So yeah, so let's go through the eBay items that I have. Now up first is this Willie Smith jacket, really cute military style brown tweed jacket. Now this was one that I had originally in the winter sent that into Thredup. It did sell. It was returned because it is like a really tight fitted jacket, which is why on my listings I'll show down below here. I do go into some detail here with the measurements on all of my clothing items. I do a pit to pit for across the chest measurement. I also do an across the hem width down at the bottom and how it's going to fit across your hips. I think when I'm looking for clothing online, I know that's a consideration for me, and so I do include that because that's one that I typically have a question of. I also include the length and the sleeve length. Those are pretty standard for tops and jackets and coats and sweaters across. I also do, I take a picture of the fabric content, but I also do restate it in the listing also. And if there's any damage on items, I will mention it in the description here, but I'll also mention it here because I know on the app it's a lot easier to see that information when you include it up in the seller notes when you're viewing on the app on your phone. So again, this one sold on Thredup. It was returned. It did not resell. I decided because there wasn't a lot of likes for this item on Thredup, it wasn't really getting a lot of views. I decided to go ahead and not send it back in, but to list it myself, and then it did sell. And actually, I sent an offer to likers on this one, and so it sold for $19.19 because I I believe it was on sale, and then I took like another 10% off. Is how it kind of comes up with some of those funny numbers for selling price. And on all of my eBay items, the buyer pays shipping. And in this particular case, this was over £1 to ship. And so I have found shipping is cheapest when it's over £1. If I can fit it into a padded flat rate priority mailing envelope, then that's the cheapest way to ship an item. Next up is this really fun. These are Robert Carlinci. He does this thing called Ugly Face. It's just what it's called. I don't know if he came up with it or how it came to be, but I ended up actually just selling the smaller one here, this guy. I had someone contact me who wanted to know if they could just purchase the smaller one, and so I did sell that. I am in the process. I took new photos, and I am in the process of relisting this big guy. He's a garlic jar, but this cute little jug here with this is the little opening on top. He did sell. I sold him for $20. And this one, again, he was over £1 to ship, and so he went out priority mail. And he had this really nice sticker on the back of him. And then this item, I loved this item. This was so hard for me to sell. I love Fenton hobnail, and I come across it and I sell it, and it's so hard to let go. I love the way it looks. I love the way that the light shines in it, and I really like the hobnail effect. This one did have the little Fenton sticker on it, and I believe it also said Fenton on the bottom somewhere, but this is a really, really nice it's a candle holder, but the center of it, let me get a good shot here. You can put like I'm trying to think, a taper candle in the middle, and then it also has these two size rings in it so that you can put two different sizes of pillar candles in here. And then you can put 5 candles on the outside here. But it's a really, really nice piece. It again was over £1 to ship, and so the shipping cost is a little higher on these, and I did send out, I believe, an offer to likers on this one again, so it sold for $12.79. And I wanted to mention, and I did forget to, that all three of these items so far did sell through promoted listings. This was a really nice dress, just a pullover style dress, very nice, loose fitting. Um, it was a size medium, color in motion, but really, really cute, very like a kind of a silky t-shirt style dress. And this one I did take a best offer of $10 on, and it sold through a promoted listing also. Next up is black Speedo. Black is so hard to take pictures of and get really good idea of what an item looks like, and particularly when the only form I have here with that doesn't have a stand or legs or anything happens to also be black. But I did feel like I was getting enough of a contrast that you could actually see the design, and then in the back here that you could see the like racer style straps on this one. And you know, Speedos are great. Everybody kind of knows, you know, who likes Speedos. You know what size you wear, you know what styles you like. And so those are really easy to pick up, and really easy, again, to sell online, because people pretty much know what size and what style and what fit they like when it comes to these types of swimsuits. And this one sold, I took a best offer of $13 on this one, and it also sold through a promoted listing. And again, on swimsuits, I do try to give as best of an idea of how it is, knowing that there is going to be some stretch to it. So I try to do it kind of without stretch so people have an idea. And then I also do include on here whether or not the cups have linings, whether it's removable, whether it's an underwire, you know, that type of information I think is very helpful for people who can't actually feel the garment. This was a girl's like dancing or gymnastics leotard. It was a size 12. It was really cute. It was super shiny, and it had this cute little star detail on it. And this one I ended up taking a best offer of $6.99 on this one. And next up is a bundle that I did, a 3-item bundle. And this snowboarding coat was, I knew it was going to take a little while to sell, or wait for the right buyer to sell, because it was a really, really heavy coat. This thing weighed over 2 pounds. So when figuring out how best to ship this thing, I determined, because of the size of it, because you really couldn't smash it down a whole lot because it's a puffy jacket, that the best way to ship it would be in a medium flat rate box. That really was like the cheapest way to fit, and it barely fit into the flat rate box, but I knew I could get it in there. So this person bought this, and for this item, I accepted a best offer of $25. They also bought this Fossil handbag, which did have a slight flaw on it right here where this part of the strap had come undone. Fairly easy fix, but I did accept a best offer of $7 on this one, knowing that I had discounted it because of that flaw. And then this top was another top that I had sent into Thredup, but it didn't get really any notice. No likes, nothing on it. So this was one that, again, I didn't send back to Thredup, although it was priced well um, with how their payout structure is. I would have gotten a fairly decent payout on it had it sold, but there just wasn't much interest. So I decided to go ahead and sell it myself. And this one I accepted a best offer of $18 on. And this one sold through a promoted listing. So this top, this handbag, and this coat, I was able to fit them all into the medium flat rate box to ship out. So I was very happy about that because again, the handbag would have added more weight, and this definitely would have been then over like a 3-pound box to ship. And so I felt that the medium flat rate was the best price for shipping on that one. Next item is this really cute, the brand is Little Yellow Button, and it was sold at Anthropologie, and it was this cute high-low, higher in the front, lower in the back, had that nice, here's the back, so it had a cute, totally different pattern going on the back as it did on the front. And this one I accepted a best offer of $18 on this, and this was a size medium. This was a really nice top. It was 100% linen. It was a really nice fall color for fall, being a rust color. Sleeveless tank top. It was by Silhouettes, and it was a size 2X, and this one sold for $24.99, which I thought that was a good price point for this item, being that it's 100% linen, and really well made. Very, very nicely made. And the last eBay item that I have is this really fun flannel pair of pajamas by Anne Klein. And at first when I looked at it, I thought, oh, that's a leopard print. Oh, that's really fun. But it's actually like roses, but it just has that look of like a leopard print, even though it's roses. So it's very pretty, really nice, just a nice standard pair of flannel pajamas, and these were a size medium. And again, this is an item that was over a pound when you combine the two. Very nice flannel, but it has some weight to it. And so again, this one shipped out through a flat rate padded envelope mailer. And so those were my eBay sales. So then on to Poshmark, and I only had 2 Poshmark sales this week. One of them was another Fenton item, and this was a carnival glass. This was amethyst. It was so sparkly. It was just beautiful. This picture barely captures how pretty it is and how pretty this rainbow effect is on the amethyst glass. But if I kept this, then I would need, because it's part of the American Craftsman series, I would need the whole series, and I just don't need another collection right now. So even though this was a tough one to let go, because there is amethyst carnival glass is just, it's so beautiful. Even this picture here barely captures how pretty the effect is of the amethyst carnival glass. It's just so striking, just absolutely lovely. And so this one did sell for $17. That was a hard one to let go of too. Now this top, I sold this for $8 because it had a flaw on it. And I can see, and because I know where the flaw is, it's right here. And I'll get a close-up because as I was taking pictures, I was trying to get closer and closer and closer to that flaw so that it was a little more evident when you actually saw the picture. This part of the kind of ribbon accent, that seam, had come undone there. Somebody with a little more sewing skill could probably fix that up pretty easily and do a nice job on it. Or you probably could very easily alter this top to, possibly take out this accent or, to do something else to repurpose this top. It was a really nice top and a really fun design, especially the back. I really liked that. Had a lot going on with it. So yeah, this definitely could be very easily repurposed or repaired. So I did accept an offer of $8 on that. And then I had, moving on to 4 Thredup sales. I did have a little bit of a gap in time between when my last kits had processed to when the new kits started processing. Just because, I mean, I appreciate the fact that Thredup is trying to um, stay in business and stay working. And during these conditions, I know it has been really, really hard. And so I totally understand the gap. I'm not upset by it at all. I had sent in June, I sent in 4 kits, but I did not expedite, spend the extra money to expedite processing on those. So I have had one of those kits process. One of them I think is in being processed right now. And so I'll be able to show that in a video coming up soon, in a few days. And then I have 2 that probably I'm hoping around the first couple weeks of September get processed. So we will see. My other kits I've sent in, I have spent the money to have expedited processing on, which is why I am now able to have some sales on Thredup. So let's take a look at those. I have 4 so far. Now I don't count Thredup sales until I have actually been paid on them. So I so far for this last week have 4 where I have actually been paid out on. Now up first is this item was sold in a goodie box. Now it does not say goodie box like it used to. However, I can tell it's a goodie box sale because I was paid out right away. I didn't have to wait for it to be in transit and for the client who purchased it to have received it for 2 weeks to then have the opportunity to return it. And so that's how I can tell which ones have been sold to clients, and then will take about 3 weeks now for payout for the transit time and for the return window, and which ones take about a week now for their internal processing before I'm paid out, because I'm guessing that they're being sold in goodie boxes even though they're not saying it anymore. But this one I was paid out right away. My payout was $15 on this item, even though it sold for $49.99. And again, being a goodie box, it didn't really sell for that price. But this one did. This one did go, was purchased by an external client. It did go through the 2-week process. It sold very quickly, and it had 22 favorites on it. But it sold within a couple of days. So this one got a lot of activity really quickly. And so it did sell for $46.99. I received $13.40 for this one. This one was also sold in a goodie box. It did have 5 favorites on it. My payout on this one was $10. And then the last item, they have these as blue. I swear these were more of like a purple, but I guess everybody's light's going to be different. But they were very, very pale. Really neat Calvin Klein jeans. And these were also sold in a goodie box. And my payout was $13.92 on these. So yeah, so if you have any questions on ThreadUp, I do have a series of videos, but if you have any other questions, please feel free to leave those behind and I will do my best to answer because I'm still learning, you know, ThreadUp too, just like everybody else kind of is, and I am documenting kind of as much as I can on selling on ThreadUp. So yeah, so we can all learn how best to utilize that platform. So for the numbers for this week, again, this was August 18th through the 26th. My cost of goods is $40.50, which I annual average out my cost. And for this year, it's $2.25 an item. So that was 18 items. My fees were $46.49. My sales were $272.27, leaving a profit of $206.52, which again was about, well, it was more than twice of what it was last week. So this was a good week and hopefully building back. August has been really slow in comparison to other months. Even with everything that's going on, it was still fairly slow. So that is it, and thank you for watching. Appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. And again, any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those behind. And if you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing to my channel and liking this video on your way out. And thanks again, and stay safe, and I will see you next time.